Hello and welcome to another video from EarnPED.com. I am StevieB here at the wonderful starter area Camp Icarus playing Entropia Universe. We hope that you are all doing absolutely freaking fantastic today. To all the haters that are out there, we have our signature StevieB coffee, cigarettes, and smacks ready to go for you. For everybody else, we appreciate you being here. So I was actually putting off making this video, but it's a very important video for a lot of players, especially a lot of newer players or a lot of free-to-play players. So I want to go ahead and get it up. If you see the Argonaut video from me completing Iron Argonaut, I talk about an important video coming. This is it. I'm actually going to upload this one first. So guys, today I want to talk about what is one of the most important tools at your disposal in Entropia Universe. It is not a weapon. It is not a piece of armor. It is not a crafting terminal. It's not even deeds. I think all those things are important, but the most important thing in your arsenal is very likely this bad boy right here. It's called a resource refiner. Now, they come in all shapes and sizes. This is my Imperium Resource Refiner B1. If we go to the trade terminal, there is a starting refiner over here that we can get under mining called the Genesis Star Basic Refiner. This is actually the design that most refiners have. They pretty much all look like this little keypad looking thing. Some of them do look a little bit different, like my Imperium. But this is probably one of the most important tools in game. And let me explain why. So the basic function of a refiner is to refine ores and in matters. Whenever I go mining and I pull rocks out of the ground, you'll notice that I've got Narcasium stone, Narcasium ingot, Blessarium stone, Blessarium ingot, Listerium stone, Listerium ingot. How do I get my stones into ingots? It's very simple. I simply equip my refiner. I press E for action. E is in Eric. I then take the stones and I drag and drop, and for every 3 stones I put in, notice it says this item can be refined. For every 3 stones I put in, generally speaking, I will get 1 ingot. So if I put in 333 stones, I expect to get 111 ingots, right? With ores and in matters, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I take 25,640 crude oil and put it in, notice it says this item can be refined, I would expect to get back, 12,500 and some change, right? Because it's 2-to-1, so it's 1/2. So 12,320 is what I would get back for in matter. So that's what everybody knows, right? Here's what people don't know. It goes far beyond what I just showed you. So first of all, let's say we have a pet and we want to feed a pet. Pets eat nutrobars, right? What are nutrobars? They're a mixture of sweet stuff, which is this stuff right here, and fruit. This item can be refined. Now, if I mix fruit with it, I get nutrobars. So the thing is, there's way more than just this, but you really want to research before you refine. Here's the reason why. Some things, like nutrobars, if I refine exactly 1,000, then whenever I refine exactly 1,000, instead of getting 1,000, I'm going to get a bonus. I'm going to get 1,001. There's a lot of stuff like that in the game. It's like the shrapnel conversion, where you take 100 shrapnel and convert it and get 101 universal ammo, and it's just a bonus. There's all kinds of stuff like that that happens when you use a refiner. So typically, whenever I refine stones, 3 stones equals 1 ingot. 2 in matter equal 1 in matter, right? But that's not always the case, especially when you start mixing stuff in your refiner. Mind essence. Mind essence is the same way. If you make the exact right amount of mind essence by mixing sweat and force nexus, you get bonus. I believe it's 1,000 there also. I'm not sure of the exact ratios offhand, but these are things that are easy to research beforehand. They're easily found on the forums, on the Entropia wiki. You can literally Google how to make mind essence, and you'll see the recipe. Or you can go to the wiki, how to make nutrio bars, and you'll see the recipe. And it will usually tell you if you mix this amount of this with this amount of this, it gives you this amount of this. But if you do it in these exact quantities, it will actually give you more. So let's take it a step further. I'm about to absolutely blow y'all's minds. So in my storage, you see I've got a lot of the basic just ores and matters, some refined, some I haven't refined. It's just kind of everywhere, and you'll notice I've kind of halfway started trying to sort it, right? So here's the thing. Did you guys know that there are some things that you cannot get without using the refiner? They have actually created different types of ingots over the years that you have to mix sweat with placerium, with listerine, with some kind of a hydrogen gas, with Magirian spray. You have to put all these different things into the refiner together to get some of these super special ingots. There are certain materials, certain ores and end matters that can create different outcomes depending on what ratio you use. So you might get a different ratio by putting in 6 than you would by putting in 2, right? There are several end matters that I know can be split off into different end matters after they're refined depending on the different ratios you use. So there's all kinds of unique ingots out there. There's all kinds of unique end matters out there. There's all kinds of cool stuff like that. And in fact, one of the ones that's overlooked most often is sweat. So most people wouldn't think of just refining sweat, right? You can actually throw sweat into a refiner and create vibrant sweat crate. Vibrant sweat crate was something that was used in the Mission Galactica chain. It's something that most people will never do, and nobody buys vibrant sweat crates. They just don't, guys. All right, so whatever you do, don't refine your sweat into vibrant sweat crates. But the point being is it can be done. In fact, it even says right here, I can convert it into vibrant sweat crates, right? So I could do it. So that just shows you the power of this. So let's take it a step further. I have an exosaur tooth here, right? Exosaur tooth. This item can be refined. Why is that? Because it's part of a DNA set. If I mix the right amount of exosaur teeth with other specific parts, I can create a DNA cartridge for exosaurs. If I own a land area, I can then use that DNA cartridge plus energized fertilizer, which is nothing more than dung mixed with growth molecules in a refiner. I can then use that energized fertilizer with that DNA cartridge to spawn exosaurs on my own land area. There is all kinds of stuff like this in game, guys. There's all kinds. And the thing is, some of it is still yet to be discovered. I have a very good friend, a very high-level player who's been working on a DNA set for a very long time. He has all the parts that we should need. And it says it's refinable, and we know what mob it makes. We can't find the right combination of things to make it work. He's been working on it for a very, very long time. And I have a feeling there's something very simple that's being overlooked. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to DNA sets, a lot of those DNA sets, guys, can be super valuable. Some of them are not worth crap. Exosaur DNA, I can't imagine, is worth a ton. But there are a lot of those DNA sets that the rare part has not dropped in years. Fowl. As you guys know, I call them Dobbies. The little level 4 elf-looking creatures looks like Dobby, the house elf from Harry Potter. One of my favorite creatures to hunt, fowl. There is a fowl DNA set, but in order to make it, you need a fowl suction cup. A fowl suction cup hasn't dropped in loot in over 10 years. So there's a lot of the pieces that are rare, but there's all kinds of stuff like this in-game, all kinds. One thing that I wanted to show you that might be very, very handy for some of you guys. Let me see if I've got it handy, as I did not prep before I made the video. So as you guys know, sometimes pills are worth a whole lot. Sometimes they're not worth hardly crap, right? So like Hyperstim. Everybody likes my Hyperstim because it makes you shoot faster, it makes you run faster. So Hyperstim is a very popular pill. However, Neurostim B is not a popular pill. Neurostim B just increases your regeneration by 100% for 5 minutes. It's not a very popular pill. and they're virtually impossible to sell. In fact, I've had this stack here for solid 16 to 17 months probably. I've had this entire stack. Now here's the thing, guys. This stack here is 194 PED, right? That's a lot of PED to have tied up in a pill that I'm really not ever going to use, right? So let me show you something really cool. Remember I said the refiner is super powerful and there's all kinds of things in game that will just blow your mind that you can make with a refiner? My HyperStim, or I'm sorry, my NeuroStem-B, those ones that literally you cannot sell. I've got 194 PED TT value, right? If I press refine, it turns it into universal ammo. What is that, 19 million? Or no, I'm sorry, that's 1,940,000, is that right? Yeah, that'd be right. 1.94 million ammo if I was to refine these right now, right? So how many of you knew that you could refine pills into universal ammo? Now you don't want to do it with every pill. Obviously you don't want to do it with something like modified neurostim that I'm constantly buying for 50 PED each. You don't want to do it with something like creature control capsules. You don't want to do it with something like hyperstim, divastim, acustim. Even the nutristim, sometimes the regeneration of them can be helpful depending on which one it is. But some of them like neurostim B, neurostim C, you practically never sell these. Nobody ever really has a legitimate use for them 99.999% of the time. Maybe you find a rare instance where somebody has some weird reason they need it, right? But generally, neurostim B and neurostim C are dang near impossible to sell. There's some pills that you might get by opening boxes that are actually account bound, like Neuro X or Neuro Y, and they can be useful in game, but maybe that's not what you do. Maybe you don't need faster reload. Maybe you're not a hunter at all. Maybe you're a miner and that's all you do is mine, but you open some boxes and you got it. Throw them in a refiner, see if it can refine. Guys, there's an easy way to do this. Instead of actually going through and putting everything into the refiner, you can just Google it. Do your own research, wiki. Don't make me give you guys everything hand you guys everything on a silver platter. If you will Google these things, the wiki, even though it's horribly out of date, has a ton of information on it that your average player isn't going to know. Your average player isn't going to know that you can refine pills. Your average player is not going to know that you can put different stuff in and create a DNA cartridge and then spawn your own mob if you own a land area. Your average player isn't going to know the recipe for lioncinite steel ingots, right? Your average player isn't going to know what blueprints those are even used in, or if they drop anymore. So the refiner is possibly one of the most powerful tools in all of Entropia. Hands down, it can do so many things, create so many things, and it's so powerful. Hands down, it's one of the most powerful tools in Entropia, right? Now, with great power also comes great ability to fuck it up. I know you thought I was going to go with the Spider-Man line, right? I can't tell you how many people I've seen refine sweat into sweat crates and think they now had a sellable item. Okay, it doesn't work like that. Not just because you refined something doesn't mean you took junk and suddenly made it better. Sometimes junk is just junk. Sometimes junk refines to junk. Sometimes good stuff refines to junk, and junk sometimes refines to good stuff. This is where it is a dynamic economy. You have to learn to do your own research. You have to learn to use the wiki. You have to learn how to figure these things out for yourself. I can give you guys the map, but sometimes it's not going to tell you where the stoplights are, right? It'll show you the road to go down. It'll show you where you want to get, but it's not going to tell you where every pothole is along the way. So make Google your best friend. I literally Google Entropia-related stuff probably 50 times a day. In fact, if you look through my history is like literally 99.9% Google searches on things about Entropia or items in Entropia. The other 0.1%, I'm sure you can probably pretty guess what the rest of my search history is, so let's not go there. So the refiner is hands down one of the most powerful tools in the game. Now, why do I have the Imperium Resource Refiner B1? That's the next question. Well, if you notice, I'm not sure if I have any others on me handy. Let's see if I've got some over here. Notice I've got a transformer T103. I've got some others in storage. So why do I use the Imperium B1? Well, not all refiners are made the same, guys. So some refiners have much, much less decay and can refine many, many more units per use, right? So it's refines per peck that I'm looking at. So I want one of the most economical refiners that I can get, especially since I do a lot of mining now. I have a lot of ores and in matters that I need to refine, and obviously in pretty large quantities. I mean, I've got 38,927 Listerium after the Regolite rush the other day when I went out and grabbed me some Regolite too, though not nearly as many as everybody else. So I want to be sure that I have a refiner that, even if I've got to pay a little bit more up front, gives me very, very economical refining cost, because that is going to make it easier for me to be competitive on auction. It makes it easier for me to be competitive as a trader. If I'm lowering and I'm being more economical with my refining cost, then that allows me to be more competitive in the market, right? If I do the opposite, if I use a very uneconomical, very expensive refiner, so my cost to refine goes through the roof, then so do my prices, right? So the reason I like the Imperium refiner B1 is it is not the most expensive refiner in the game. Notice it has a TT value of 6 PED at full TT. It's unlimited, so it can be repaired. And the markup is only about 15 PED above face value. So that means that for literally like $2, you can have a pretty economical refiner, right? Now, are the refiners better than this one? Sure. Hell, there's some refiners that cost several thousand PED and are eco as hell, if you can even find one for sale, because there's only a few of them floating around. You know what? Hopefully someday I'm to that level that I'm mining so freaking much, I need to spend hundreds of dollars on a refiner to get that extra little bit of eco out of it. But for where I am right now for my current play level, $2 was nothing to get a refiner that is economical enough to meet my current needs, right? If I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars on a finder like my mining finder F106, then it makes sense to spend at least $2 on a refiner to go with it. Same with my excavator. My excavator is the third most effective economical excavator in game. There's much more expensive ones out there. They're much faster. They do all kinds of nifty stuff. Hopefully someday I need one. But for right now, it matches my gear set very, very well. I want my gear to match my skills. I want my gear and my skills to match my knowledge. You can have the best gear in game. If you don't have the knowledge and skills to go with it, it's useless. That's like putting a nuclear reactor in the hands of a second grader. You can have the best gear available, in the wrong hands without knowledge and without skills, it's meaningless, right? So we want to do a couple things. We want to keep our skills, our gear, and our knowledge in line. We want to be sure it all works. It would not make sense to have a great mining finder and a horrible refiner. So, since I got the F106, I got the Imperium B1. You can find these on auction pretty frequently. They do pop up a couple times a week. Sometimes you might even get lucky and there's several on there. I overpaid a little bit for mine just because I wanted it right then and there. One other thing, and then we'll go ahead and end the video. Guys, put in the comments below what you use your refiner for, what you never knew a refiner could be used for, things that you've seen on the wiki or in game, and you were like, holy hell, I didn't even know that you could use a refiner to do that. Leave me all that stuff in the comments. But one quick thing, see this green dot right here? It says unprotected item. This is a new feature that was just rolled out whenever we updated to version update 17 a few months back. So it's currently unprotected. I can TT this item, I can sell it to somebody, I can put it on auction. If I, however, click it, it turns red. The item is now protected. You'll notice that now, if I close my inventory and open it back, it should have a little P on it, and it does not. However, it is still red. Oh, I'm sorry, it was protected, I unprotected it. So green is protected, red is unprotected. So notice that now that that dot is green, there's this little P in the upper right hand corner. You'll see it on some of my other items too. P means protected. I cannot accidentally TT my F106. I cannot accidentally TT my Imperium Resource Refiner B1. I cannot accidentally sell somebody my Earth Excavator ME-01. I cannot accidentally trade it. I can't accidentally auction it. I can't accidentally do anything to get rid of these protected items. What I have to do is I have to literally go in, hit View Info, and click that dot, turn it from green being protected back to red being unprotected. Then I can trade it, TT it, or sell it. So that's a super, super handy thing on a lot of items. We did have a lot of people that were accidentally selling, trading, or TTing very valuable items that they did not want to get rid of. This solves that problem. So guys, I highly, highly recommend going through protecting anything that you don't want to get rid of. It is not that hard to go in and unprotect it should you change your mind later. So guys, the refiner is possibly one of the most powerful tools in Entropia just because of the sheer amount of information that's out there that we don't know. We don't know what it is that we haven't discovered yet. We don't know what all can be refined and what all can't be refined. Not everything has been tried in combination with everything else. I got to thinking of a list of things that I'm going to try and refine that I guarantee you I would have never thought of had I not been planning to make this video. Things that should never even go into a refiner. Like, one of my new hobbies is just throwing crap into a refiner and seeing if it'll even take it and say this item can be refined. So because of there being so many things out there that a refiner can take in and spit out something different, so many things that we don't know if it's part of a bigger recipe that goes into the refiner, and so many things that we know do, but they're used so rarely, you're not going to see it unless you go to the wiki and start looking these items up one at a time. It is quite possibly one of the most powerful tools in the game. And the fact that not all refiners are the same, some are super expensive, super eco, some are fairly cheap but still super eco, very, very much something you guys really need to look hard at and really need to research. So guys, from EarnPED.com, I've been StevieB. I'm going to leave it there for today. We appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate all the haters. You want to go ahead and light up a cigarette, smack a little bit. But we really appreciate you guys. We appreciate every subscribe, every like, even every dislike from the haters, because no content creator has a 100% like rating on YouTube. It just does not exist. You guys are all valuable to us. We love the private messages that new and old players alike are coming back to Entropia, either returning after a multi-year break or for the first time from seeing these videos. We love sharing the game that we love and building the community with you. If you're looking for a society home, let me know. The University of Entropia, or I'm sorry, University of EU Society would love to have you guys. All you got to do is let me know. I'll send you an invite and approve your application. If you want to join the University of EU, we'd love to have you. Lots of people active in our society chat. Some great things coming up for that. Guys, if you want to help support me personally or us here at EarnPED, go to EarnPED.com. Earn yourself some PED. When you earn, we earn. Now, I am going to give you a heads up that you might want to pay very close attention to EarnPED over the next couple of days. I am very, very sick of these slimy, shady people that you guys know I harp about all the time. Some of them have recently been turned into MindArk. I've had people forward me proof that certain people are scamming people, especially targeting new players. If you guys have proof of something like that, don't forward it to me. Forward it to MindArk support, because that's what I end up doing is I take the information you send me and I forward it to support anyway, right? If you see somebody doing something shady, asking you to talk outside the game in an encrypted chat or swear you to secrecy, if you see something, say something, just like real life. But I'm also just tired of some of the BS. So keep an eye on EarnPED.com. There might be something coming. I'm still debating it, but I think I know which way I'm going to go. And you guys might want to be checking out EarnPED.com pretty regularly the next couple of days. That way you get a head start on anything that happens. I'll just leave that there. As always, the donation link is there if you guys want to donate for some specific reason. I've had several people already donate. Some people want us to get a certain item in game, and talk about it or do a certain thing in game or starter packs, boxes, whatever it is you want. Do not feel obligated. However, if you would like us to do that, that option is there. You guys know it's there. If any instructions come through with the donation, I follow them to the T. That's how I work. So no obligation at all. We would much prefer you guys to go to EarnPED.com and earn and learn. Earn for yourself. Earning for y'all earns for us. We appreciate that, and we cannot tell you how much. We appreciate all the subscribers because we're getting really, really close to that subscription goal. But guys, I'm going to leave it there for now. We do have more content coming this week for you guys. I can't promise a video a day, but we do have more content coming. But this is just so vitally important. I wanted to make this the most important tool in Entropia Part 1, the refiner. Like I said, put in the comments what you know can be refined, what you know can't be refined, all kinds of things that you know about refiners. We might follow this up with a multi-part series just going through refining different stuff later on. But I wanted to get this out there for now because it's something you guys really need to look into. So guys, I'll leave it there for today. I've been StevieB. We appreciate it. We hope you continue to learn and earn, and we will see you back here with more secrets from Entropia Universe very soon. Take care, guys.